The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas won't notice that they're made out of paper, and I really hope he leaves something for my kitty. Hello, my crafty dolls. Welcome to my craft room. I am so glad you're here because today I'm featuring a brand new miniature Christmas project just for your dollhouse that I designed over in my Etsy shop. Miniature stockings. And guys, they look so real. No one is ever going to know that they're made from paper. So if you're new here, I am Grandma Kitty, and this channel is dedicated to all things dollhouse miniatures. And if you still love to play with your dollhouse as much as I do, please hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you back. And I also design instant download printables for your dollhouse over in my Etsy shop. You're going to find my brand new Christmas stocking listing. You simply download the digital file, you print it out, and then today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make realistic knitted mini stockings for your dollhouse at Christmas time. Because there is just no way I'm going to attempt to make tiny little stockings. Now, to get our paper stockings to look homemade, we are going to do just a little bit of sewing, and I promise you it's going to be easy. And then I'm going to show you how to decorate them and how to hang them. So guys, we better get started so we can have our stockings done in time for Santa. All right, here are my stockings all printed out from my Etsy shop. And you're going to get 3 pages when you print this out. And I admit I went a little nuts. I did 24 stockings. So I just want you guys to have options. You know, I just went a little overboard. So on the first page, there's 12 knitted, you see knitted stockings. And then the second page, I have needlepoint stockings, and these we can personalize. I have a dog and a cat one, and then finally I have 6 quilted stockings. Then on the last page, I also have a mantle cover, which I'll show you how to use later. And then I gave you a little bit of candy stripe paper so we can make candy sticks for our stockings. And then when I print this out, I always use the best quality paper. I use Hammermill premium color paper. It's a 28-pound paper, so it's not too thick and it's not too thin. I do not recommend using cardstock. It'd be too thick. So this is going to give you just the right thickness you need. And also it's a very bright white paper. So your colors are just going to be super vibrant. So that is the paper that I use. So the first step is to cut all of these out. And I am going to cut out all 24 so I can show you exactly how each one looks, and the scale can be fun. So now I'm going to cut all these out, and I'm going to put on a Christmas movie. Of course, when I'm wrapping presents and baking, I always have a Christmas movie on. So I've already watched The Holiday. I've already watched Little Women. That's one with Winona Ryder and Susan Sarandon. Not really called a Christmas movie, but it has a lot of Christmas scenes in it, and I just love that movie. But I think I'm going to watch Home Alone. I haven't watched that in years, and I am looking forward to it. So let me know in the comments which Christmas movie is your favorite. And I am going to see you in a little bit after I cut all 24 of these stockings out.
When we finally get, I hate going out in the storm, but if you really want me to, all the way home I'll be warm. Now the fire is slowly dying.
All right, now that we have all our stockings cut out, we need to fold them. So on our sheet, we have these fold lines. So I have a fold line for the top of your stocking. And especially for the personalized ones, I would follow the fold line. But on the other stockings, you can fold them as low as you want. So if you want a really short stocking, you can go ahead and fold really low or stick to the guideline. It doesn't matter. So some of these are really long, you can make them short. So whichever you prefer. So first you fold the stocking along the top and you give that a really nice crease. And then you fold it horizontally along the edge. That is it so far. You give that a really nice crease. Just make sure everything lines up. Sometimes that fold gives you a little bit of excess paper. Just go ahead and trim that so it is completely flush. So far, so good. I'm going to do that to all of my stockings. And again, if you think this is too long, you can go ahead and you can fold it all the way down. Maybe to there. You could do that too. However tall you want your stocking to be. So you can have a short stocking or you can keep it long, whichever you prefer, depending on the size of your fireplace. Doesn't matter. And they're reversible. I have my stockings all folded and ready for sewing. But before I do that, I have 4 stockings that I want to personalize. I am just going to use a white gel pen for this, and I'm just going to simply write their names on here. And what's nice is we can write it with the toe facing right, or we can do it facing left. So whichever you prefer. I think I'm going to make them all going to the right. And I'm going to write my granddaughter's name on here. And a good trick is her name is Nora, and I'm going to start with N. And then I'm going to put the A at the end. Next, I'm going to do the R and then the O. And that way it doesn't look too scrunched. Maybe a little bit. Maybe the O could have been over a little further. But if you put the first letter and the last letter, then you put the middle letters in between, and then that last letter never looks too small or too scrunched. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Dad on this one. I'm not the greatest. Not the greatest penmanship. It does look like a kid wrote that, but it's okay. All right, Mom on this one. I think that one's better. I think I did better on that one. Now, my grandson's name is Henry, and that might be too big. So I'm going to put my son's name on there, which is Matt. So we're going to put Matt on this one. Hey, not bad. All right, now we are ready. Now, if you want, you can personalize some of the others. This one might be a good one to personalize, and I would use a red pen for this one. I also have the dog and cat stocking. You just flip them over and you can write your pet's name on those stockings and just use a really good quality fine tipped red pen. That will do the trick. Our stockings are all folded and ready to be stitched up. Now, when it comes to thread, you can use whatever color you want. I am going to do a really nice contrasting thread because I'm going to do some hand stitching and I really want to show off my stitches. And I think for my little needlepoint stockings with our names, I am going to use gold. So that'll really show off. I think the red will kind of blend in too much. So I want to show off my stitching with the gold on. So we're going to do a simple blanket stitch all around our stocking to make it closed. Now for the thread, do not double up your thread. Here I just have it one string. If you double it, it is going to get all tangled up and drive you nuts. So make sure it is just one string and then tied at the end. That's it. And I gave myself about 2 feet. So give yourself enough thread to work. And we are going to start with the toe to the right, and we are going to hide our knot in our stocking here. So we're going to take the right corner, we're going to go inside, and we're just going to punch through there. And all we're doing right now is hiding the knot. There we go. The knot is all tucked in. And now for the blanket stitch. It is super easy. Basically, we want to keep our needle coming up through the back all the way around. And we want to try to keep our stitches the same length. So here, this stitch, so we're going to come down a little further, and we're going to try to keep them pretty consistent. Pull your thread through, and you want to pull your string. Now just before it gets tight, you're going to end up with a loop. You're going to take your needle and you're going to put it right back through the loop, and you're going to pull it tight. So that's the first one. And now we're going to go through the back. You want to keep going through the back. You want to try to stay consistent. Try to make those stitches the same width apart. Again, pulling that thread almost tight. You're going to take your needle and go back through that loop. Pull it tight. And there you have your little blanket stitch. And then you just keep going all along the edge, trying to keep the distance between each stitch generally the same. Through the back. You have your loop. Put your needle right back through that loop. Pull tight. And then we'll have a nice stitch going all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And here is my finished stocking. Got that stitching going all the way around. Really has that handmade look now. Some of my stitches aren't exactly consistent, but that's okay. Makes it more homemade looking. So I forgot to tell you, when you start, you really want to start with the toe pointing to the right, and you want to start to the right. So you work your way all around. So you end up to the left, because this is where we're going to put our little loop so we can hang our stocking. Now we're going to make the loop at the end of our stocking, and I remember I told you make sure you leave enough thread at the end so you have enough thread to make knots. It's hard to make a knot when the thread is too short. All I did is I took my little X-Acto knife handle and I taped it down to my board here so it doesn't roll around on me. Put your stocking down and put your thread underneath your handle here, just like this. And this is going to give us a really good loop, and it's going to keep everything tight for you. You're going to go over and you're going to loop it towards the front. And then through the front, you're going to thread your needle through the corner of your stocking, right in the corner. And just make everything tight, just like this. Now your thread is going to the right. We're going to go back. You're going to go under all your threads to the left. Put your needle through. Now we're not going to pull it tight. We're going to leave a very big loop at the end. Very, very big, because we want to make sure that we can tie a knot. And I'm going to take my two ends. I'm going to simply tie a knot. I'm going to tie a knot all the way down to the top of your stocking, real tight. And I'm probably going to do 2 to 3 knots. Just cut the ends off. Flip this out. And here you have the perfect loop for your stocking. Here you can see my stockings up close, all stitched up and ready to go. Quilted ones, here are the personalized ones. Here I use the gold thread. Here is a knitted one. Cats love Christmas too, and I have my little kitty one. And my Christmas movie is all over. This took me about 2 hours. Now we're going to get to the fun part. We're going to make these look like real stockings. We're going to puff them out and we're going to fill them up with some decoration. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 ways to stuff your stocking. So the first way is if you want to leave your stocking on the mantle unstuffed. So no toys, no decoration. It's just waiting for Santa to fill it. So first you want to pinch the top of your stocking and just take a pen, or here I got a little glue pipette here, and open up your stocking and give it some life because it's pretty flat. Pinch it and then give it some life. Then you want to take some polyfill, and this is way too fluffy. It's hard to stuff this when it's too fluffy, so we're going to unfluff, very technical name. So you're going to roll it in your palm until you get a nice tight ball. Just like that, and then you can outstretch that a little bit, make it long. Make it long, just like that. Then you take your tweezers and you just simply stuff your stocking. Get it all the way to the tip. Open up your stocking, and you shove it all the way down. Now you might need 2 or even 3 of these. You want to get all the way down to the toe. And again, this is if you want to leave your stocking unfilled, waiting for Santa to fill it on Christmas morning. And it's going to hang really, really nice on your mantle. Now the second way is if you want to decorate and stuff your stocking with a little bit of evergreen, some candy, and some toys. And what's going to happen is if you just stuff it with the cotton, it's going to be too top heavy, and when you try to hang it, it's going to hang like this. So we need to counterbalance that weight. We need to put some weight in the toe. And we're going to do that. We're just going to use uncooked white rice. So we're going to fill up our stocking with some rice. And we're going to fill it all the way up all the way down to the toe, and you're going to stuff it as much as you can. There we go, and you want to get it pretty close to the top. There we go. And now when it hangs, all that counterweight will be at the toe. And there we go. Now it's all ready to be decorated. Okay, now if you want to stuff your stocking and decorate it a little bit, and included with the purchase, I have this little piece of paper on here so you can make candy sticks. And all I'm going to do, just cut off little strips. I'm just going to use some leftover evergreen material I used for my Christmas trees. And all I'm going to do is glue these in. I'm also going to use earrings. These are going to make cute little toys. And all I did is I cut the post off. So you want to use earrings, cut those posts off. A little Christmas tree and a little Santa hat. Now for glue, I'm going to use my grandmother Stover's glue. This glue is specially made for paper. And you can use hot glue if you want, but do not use your tacky glue for this. After all, this is paper, and the tacky glue is going to wrinkle and discolor your paper. So a big no-no. And now it's time to hang our stockings on our fireplace just in time for Santa. And before we get started, we are going to get our mantle cover ready. We are going to cut it out, and we're going to cut it to the length of the top of our mantle. And then we are going to fold the front scallop down so those scallops hang over the edge of the front of the fireplace. To attach the stockings to the mantle, I'm going to use my favorite product, Museum Mounting Putty. This stuff is great. We're going to secure our stockings, and we're not going to damage our mantle. Now to secure your stocking, put just a little bit of that mounting putty on top of your loop at the end of your stocking, and that is going to hold your stocking in place. And what's great about the putty is that it's completely temporary. You can take it on and off as much as you want, and it's not going to damage your mantle, and it's not even going to damage your tiny little string on your stocking. And then continue to put putty on each of your stocking loops all the way down the end of your mantle. Now to hide our mess and all of that putty, we're going to take our mantle cover and we're going to cover the top of our mantle right over our stocking strings. Make sure it's adjusted and push down. We already have that putty there, and if you need to, put a little putty on the back to make it nice and flat. Now, isn't my fireplace just so cute? It's all ready to go, all ready for Christmas. All the stockings are hanging just right. Now I just have one problem. I have 18 more stockings to find room for. So let's go to the dollhouse. Let's see how they all look in there. And I just have to make sure I leave my cat stocking out because I don't want Santa to forget about my sweet kitty.
Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star above the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
All right, my crafty dolls, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, especially during this pre-Christmas time. It's very, very hectic. As a matter of fact, when I get done here, I have to go and decorate my Christmas cookies. It's a really, really big job. I really hope I inspired you to make these cute, realistic stockings for your dollhouse, especially for Christmas. It's going to bring everything together. Again, they're available over in my Etsy shop, and they're always, always on sale. And if you've never been to Etsy to look for dollhouse miniatures, do a little bit of browsing. People are so talented. You're going to find a lot of unique and fun things for your dollhouse over there. And if you liked my Christmas trees in the video, I did a video last week. We took bottle brush trees and we transformed them into these beautiful Christmas trees. So if you have not seen that video, go ahead and check that out. It is super fun. It's going to bring your whole Christmas scene together. So guys, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you back. And Merry Christmas. And I will see you real soon.